Today we're going to talk about the Four Noble Truths, one of the first and best known of the Buddha's teachings. The first noble truth is that life is suffering. This description of life may be odd to some in the modern world, living like the kings of old as we do. We have carriages, cars, palaces, bigger houses than ever before, etc. But back in the Buddha's time, life was horrible for the average human, and so he held his teaching out as salvation from the pain of the world. Even today, we are held in the cycle of rebirths, and although we are at the height of civilization, yet most people suffer physically or mentally. The Pali word which is translated as suffering is dukkha, which can also be translated as ill or unsatisfactory. The second noble truth is that the cause of our suffering, the reason we are held in this unsatisfactory situation, is because of craving. Craving leads to clinging, which leads to further existence, to rebirth. The third noble truth is that you can get rid of craving by relinquishing it and thus cut the chain. The fourth noble truth is that the way to get rid of craving is to follow the Eightfold Path. We'll talk about the Eightfold Path in detail in our next lesson. One might notice that this list follows a standard four-part formula, which was used in both ancient Indian and Greek medical practice. Diagnosis, to state the problem, which is dukkha. All conditioned existence involves unsatisfactoriness, stress, or suffering. The etiology, identify the cause. Craving or thirst is the root cause. Prognosis, you identify the solution. The cessation of craving leads to the cessation of dukkha. Prescription, the course of treatment. The Noble Eightfold Path as the practical way to end craving and suffering. The following quote is from the Buddha's first sermon, Setting in Motion the Dhamma Wheel, which teaches the Four Noble Truths as well as the Middle Way. Thus have I heard. On one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Varanasi in the deer park at Isipatana. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus of the group of 5 thus: Bhikkhus, these two extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. What two? The pursuit of sensual happiness in sensual pleasure, which is low, vulgar, the way of worldlings, ignoble, unbeneficial, and the pursuit of self-mortification, which is painful, ignoble, unbeneficial. Without veering towards either of these extremes, the Tathagata has awakened to the middle way, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to nibbana. And what bhikkhus is that middle way awakened to by the Buddha, which leads to nibbana? It is this Noble Eightfold Path, that is, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Now this, bhikkhus, is the noble truth of suffering. Birth, aging, illness, death, these are all suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the 5 aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. This is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. It is this craving which leads to renewed existence. This is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. It is the remainderless fading away and cessation of that same craving, the giving up and relinquishing of it. This is the noble truth of the way leading to cessation. It is this Noble Eightfold Path. The 4 noble truths are also known as the 4 Aryan truths. If you recall, we discussed the term Aryan during the first lesson, when we revealed that the Yamnaya descendants, the Andronovo, came down through the Bactria-Margiana archaeological complex into Iran. Iran being the same word basically as Aryan, and from there down into India. The term Aryan meant of the royal family or language of the royal family. Since these Iranian Aryan people came to northern India and dominated, ruling and eventually intermixing with the locals in northern India, the term Arya continued to mean royal or noble. Thus the Buddha, born in northern India, used the term Aryan when referring to his main fourfold teaching, the Aryan Truths. Here's a quote from Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Great Mindfulness Establishment Sutta. And what, bhikkhus, is the Aryan truth regarding ill? Birth is painful, old age is painful, death is painful, Grief, lamentation, suffering, misery, and despair are painful. Painful is it not to get what is wished for. In a word, the 5 groups that arise from grasping are connected with pain. And what, bhikkhus, is the Aryan truth concerning the coming to be of ill? Even this craving, potent for rebirth, that is accompanied by lust and self-indulgence, seeking satisfaction now here, now there, to wit, the craving for the life of sense, the craving for becoming, and the craving for not becoming. Now this craving, where does it take its rise? Where does it have its dwelling? In those material things of this world which are dear to us, which are pleasant. The sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the senses of smell, taste, touch, and imagination, as well as the thoughts which arise because of these things, the stimulus, the feeling that is born of them, the perceiving of these things, intentions concerned with these things, craving for things in memory recalled, preoccupation with them, deliberating about them. And what is the Aryan truth concerning the cessation of ill? The utter cessation of and disenchantment about that very craving, giving it up, renouncing it, emancipation from it, detachment from it. And what is the Aryan truth concerning the way that leads to the cessation of ill? This is that Aryan Eightfold Path, to wit, right view, right aspiration, right speech, right doing, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right samadhi. That's it for today. Next lesson we'll take a look at the Eightfold Path in detail. Thanks for joining me.